Hi, and thank you for attending the Demand Gen Summit 2020. My name's Chad Burmeister. I'm the CEO of ScaleX.ai, and I'm also the co-founder of SalesClass.ai. And today, I'm going to talk to you about the three things that anyone can do to 5 to 10x the number of sales conversations that they have every week. And I'm not going to share with you how to leverage AI-assisted dialing technology because that would be cheating. What I am going to share with you are 3 ways that anyone can 5 to 10x the number of sales conversation that they have every single week without using expensive dialing technology. Hi, and welcome to Demand Gen Summit 2020. My name is Chad Burmeister. I'm the CEO of ScaleX.ai, and I'm also the co-founder of SalesClass.ai. And today, we're going to be covering the 3 things that anyone can do to 5 to 10x your sales conversations. About me, my background is about 25 years of sales. I started right out of college with a little transportation company, moved over to FedEx, received 3 to 4 weeks of hands-on training with both of those organizations. And I've worked very, very hard over the last 25 years to continue to take sales to the next level of professionalism and performance. And with the advent of AI for sales, I literally wrote the book last year in 2019 into 2020 on AI for sales to talk about how artificial intelligence is changing sales. So you can buy the book on Amazon.com, or you can also visit at chadburmeister.com and download the ebook. All right, let's get started. I'm going to play a very short video to frame the conversation today because data plays a huge role in the ability to talk to people at scale. So check this out, and then I'll get going forward with the presentation. If you put the wrong ICP in the tank, if you put data that doesn't have a valid LinkedIn URL or doesn't have a mobile number, if you have bad gas in the tank, it leads to downstream expensive repairs. So you might think, hey, I can buy this $99 data set. It's $99 a month and it's unlimited access. Awesome. This saved me so much money. Yeah, until you have to take the BMW to the shop and it costs you $2,000 to $3,000, or worse yet, you just ruined your entire car. So the same thing holds true with data. If you put bad gas in the tank, you're going to get pings. You're going to get not the right amount of pipeline. It leads to a bad dial to connect. The machine does not work if you do not have good gas in the tank. And when I say good gas, it's 10 to 1 dial to connect, 20 to 1 worst case scenario. I've seen people float to 100 to 1, 200 to 1, and it's absurd. They're throwing money out the window. All right, why is that important? Because there's artificial intelligence now that actually lets you improve your dial to connect. So think about this for a moment. I'm going to go off of data. I'm going to talk about AI as it relates to skiing. You can buy a boot, a plug-in to your boot called Carve, and it'll tell you your balance, your edging, your rotary, your pressure, and help you up-level your skill set. Absolutely amazing. You can also sign up for Athletes AI, and you can have it track your tennis stroke, and you can upload 2 hours of video. You can filter by stroke type, by player, ball speed estimation. For $200 a month, you can upload 45 hours of video upload and have all of that analyzed. So think about how, if AI can help you in your sports, then how can AI help you when it comes to getting 5 to 10 times more sales conversations? That's what we're going to talk about next. If you haven't visited the AI for Sales podcast on C-Suite Radio, I encourage you to check it out. It's available on all major podcasting platforms. So check it out. It's on Apple Store. It's on every radio podcast show you can imagine. Another good friend of mine, Victor Antonio, hosts an AI and sales show. His content's absolutely amazing too. So if you're not part of that, I highly, highly, highly encourage it. It's said that within the next 15 years, 50% of white-collar jobs will be highly disrupted by artificial intelligence. So if you're not staying abreast of what that means for sales, then you're probably missing the boat. So check those out. All right, let's get into the content. Data, digital, dials equals domination. 5 to 10 times more sales conversation. Ready? Go. So here's what we're going to talk about. It all starts with data. Then we're going to talk about how to leverage your LinkedIn network to generate introductions, warm introductions. And then we're going to talk about how to have more sales conversations through the phone at a higher quality. So data first. This is probably the most important thing. If you picture a pyramid and at the very bottom of the pyramid, data. Super, super important. So we did a study in early March of 2020, and you can think back to what was going on at that time. We were just entering lockdowns and all kinds of interesting times for the country. And what we did is we called into switchboards and we got a 59-to-1 dial to connect rate. So that means it would take 59 dials. Manually, that would take an entire day of dials and you'll talk to one person. The interesting part is that when we loaded direct dial numbers into the dialer, it took 73 dials because we were getting people at their office, but they weren't there and they didn't have an auto forward at the time to their cell phones. In fact, many still do not. What we did find is that by adding a mobile number, and if you look at tools like ZoomInfo, which now is owned and merged with Discover.org, you look at tools like Sales Intel, which is where we did this study. Sales Intel has a work mobile number. This is something that's highly unique to Sales Intel. And we found that by putting in work mobile numbers, we were able to get a 10-to-1 dial to connect. So imagine 59 manual dials in a day. Would you rather talk to one person for those dials, or would you rather have to talk to 6? I'd rather talk to 6. Simple discussion. All right, next up, digital outreach. So there's tools that help you automate this kind of discovery, but you can also do this very manually, and it works fine. Think about, on the far left is a lead list, and you can go to events, although with the country lockdown, not as many events as you used to be able to. You run an email campaign, you do LinkedIn outreach, you do webinars. Everything on the far left is what traditional sellers do. If you get to the far right and you're able to ask someone in your network for a warm referral, you're 181 times more likely to close that opportunity than by reaching out to a cold list. So think about what that means for you. Instead of doing everything that you've traditionally done, that's fine. That's all well and good. You probably should continue to do it. But what if you could identify who those people are that have the best chance of getting you a meeting with Adidas, Dell, Tesla, or your other 500 or 1,000 target accounts? This is exactly what you can do. So the way to do it is log into your LinkedIn network, see who these folks are connected to. Again, there is AI that helps you do this, but a lot of salespeople that I've managed over the years do this outreach on their own manually. And then all you do is you send a note to the person that's in the middle. Hey, Scott, I hope this finds you well. I see you're connected to Doug at Charles Schwab. I could use your help with an introduction. You want to first open up with something very polite. Then ideally, you would say, hey, my VP of sales, Aaron, and I have been working with companies like this that look like Schwab. That's why we're trying to reach out. Do you know them well enough to facilitate an intro? Ideally, in your message to the influencer, you're always going to leave some level of value proposition. Why is it that you're reaching out to the influencer to ask for a meeting? Now, just to give you an idea of some of the stats and metrics around this, most customers look like this. So this, I believe, was in a month, and we were able to work with the company to activate 119 advocates. And then of those advocates, 114 introductions were made to the end prospects and 11 meetings were booked. So don't think that when someone says they'll introduce you to one of their contacts, that 100% of the time that will actually turn out. It's more like a 10-to-1 ratio, 10% of the time. So you'd have to get 100 introductions to get 10 meetings. But guess what? Remember that stat, 181 times more likely to close an opportunity when it's through a referral. So I always say revenue equals frequency times competency. In this case, with social selling, you really have to do both. You have to have a lot of advocates, 100 in a month, asking for a lot of appointments with a lot of your top prospects, and that will yield about a 10% to 15% conversion rate to meeting. All right, last up, dials. So check this out. I'm going to play a short video. This is the latest and greatest in technology that once you get your volume up and you're able, with better data or through the art of social selling and reference-based selling, this is how you get your quality up. So check this short video out.
So tell me, what got you interested in our solution to start with? Interesting. It sounds like you're saying this product might actually be a good fit for you. Is that right?
Balto's Smart Checklist helps reps execute the key milestones that drive successful calls. By always keeping reps on track, managers know that conversations are carried out effectively and no calls slip through the cracks. When the rep hears the objection like, "It's too expensive," Balto identifies the objection and instantly provides the rep a successful rebuttal.
Let's see if we can find an option that works with your budget. Is there a particular price point you're targeting for this purchase?
By providing reps with instant, highly targeted suggestions throughout the call, Balto saves calls before it's too late.
Hey, I totally get it. I totally understand. I'm just like that too.
When the rep gets nervous and starts talking too much, Balto hears it and reminds him to pause and let the other person talk.
Could you elaborate on that?
Balto gets rid of the bad habits that lose calls and replaces them with highly effective habits that close calls. With Balto, leadership can easily identify what's working and what's not, and then instantly push the winning strategies live across the entire team. Grow your business by empowering your people to make the most of every conversation. Try Balto Live Call Guidance today.
Balto,
thank you for watching.
Really
have
cool
an amazing
company. So more conversations, more meetings. That's the end premise of the entire presentation today. I also want to introduce you to ScaleX.ai. So think about the modern seller and the attributes of the modern seller. You have to be digitally adept, data savvy. You have to have an optimistic mindset, be collaborative with your teammates, an active listener, and an empathetic partner. So it's gotten more complex than ever before. Well, that's why Gerhard Schwattner from Selling Power, Dion Mischler from Inside Sales by Design, and myself launched SalesClass.ai in about the June, July, August timeframe. So check out SalesClass.ai. We're offering a special for $1 for your first month. You can log in, view one of the 3,000 or more on-demand videos that are there. It's all powered by AI, and we think of it as Netflix for sales content. This will also get you access to live training sessions with some of the best folks that are in the world related to mindset, skill set, tool set, sales negotiations, sales demos, all kinds of things. So I would highly encourage you, if you're thinking about continuing to enhance your sales career, check out SalesClass.ai. We'd love to have you become a subscriber and learn more there. So I've really enjoyed the discussion today. I thank everybody for attending. 5 to 10x your sales conversations. That's what's required in the complex digital selling world that we're in today. Remember, revenue equals frequency times competency. Focus on getting the frequency up, and the competency will come along with it. So thanks for attending the presentation today. If you would like to get a hold of me, my email address is chad@scalex.ai, ScaleX.ai. You can also visit chadburmeister.com, and I'd love to have a conversation with you. Always open to collaborate, and I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you, Demand Gen Summit. I appreciate you having me. Thank you for attending this session.